What is Smoking Canna family? We got another episode, and this one's quite unique, but it's What Mats My Dreads, and we had some recent craziness happen. We got banned by Russia. That is right. Russia banned us, and YouTube got onto us about it. I'll tell you all that and more coming up next. Now, we got a lot to say about this particular topic of being banned in Russia and restricted by YouTube. So, we have a special guest with us today, actually. So, I'm going to go ahead and get our special guest, Harry Cola, if you want to come in here, bud. And we're going to sit down here and explain this to the Canna family, what we think and what happened. So, let's get situated here. Cool. Now that we're on the camera, now we got banned in Russia. That is right. Two buds in a jar, Dustin, myself, and Harry Cola. And we got totally banned from Russia. They are not allowed to view our content, supposedly. The Russian comm system sent us an email, and on that particular email, they labeled us as teaching dangerous and harmful content to their people. Now, I'm not getting too political, but if you guys know watching at home about Russia, they have very fewer rights compared to what we do. So their government monitors ultimately what they watch and what they look up and what they're allowed to watch, which in my opinion is horrible, and I feel for you guys. And first, before we even get into this video, I know guys this is the boring part, but just bear with me. I want to say this is nothing toward Russian people. This is more toward the Russian comms communication that got a hold of YouTube and, banned our channel over there and said we were teaching dangerous and harmful content. Now, in that regard to dangerous and harmful content, what do you think, Harry Cola?
I definitely think it's pretty wild that we got banned over there in countries like Russia because of geographical restrictions. But I mean, it's complicated because of the way YouTube really works. YouTube is a global company, so therefore it kind of has to obey and abide by the laws of every country. So if any country anywhere says, "Oh, this is dangerous and this is harmful," then they could easily just strike down another video or give us a strike because we're creating this content. But at the same time, I feel like cannabis is really the least harmful one, if anything. Like, I've always heard all these horrible things said against it, but it's not. I think nicotine is far worse, for at least for me, just because it's something uncontrollable. It's something that I want. Every 2 hours you want more nicotine. But something like cannabis, it can have its addictive qualities, but I think those qualities are there because it makes life so much more enjoyable. It makes the experience of life a little bit easier, but you can still remain coherent. You can still talk, you can still walk, you can still work, you can still function, and you're not completely laid out. You can still get stuff done. So I don't know. But everybody's different too. Everybody's systems are different. So, but it is crazy that we got banned in Russia. Like, that is wild. I didn't even think of that. Well, but I'm still learning it's not like I'm a lawyer or something and I know all the YouTube's roles. You kind of learn as you go, pretty much. Because it's evolved into something too. YouTube. It originally was just a website that was getting charged a lot of money for all the server space, and then they figured out how to get the ad revenue. And then once they figured out how to get that ad revenue going, like, things were like a gold mine. But then the ad apocalypse with the upsets on those videos. So I don't know, man. It's a crazy thing that it evolved into compared to what it used to be. YouTube is.
Very well put, Harry, I gotta say. We did get what was called, like Harry Cola mentioned, a geographic age restriction. And just to kind of put this black and white, what it is when they come back, different country views your content, and you could already had it appealed and unage restricted by YouTube. That other country can then view that as dangerous or harmful content, whether your content is dangerous and harmful as not. Ours is not. Obviously, you guys watch at home. We don't teach you to do dangerous things. We just try to teach you about how to grow cannabis efficiently and how to do gardening efficiently. And we do reviews. We do a lot of things actually, but it's all rotated around a plant and nothing harmful. However, the countries will look at it as harmful and they will get a hold of YouTube. So you will get a email of, like we did. It was all in Russian. I can't read it. I'm German and I'm predominantly American. Like my whole family's German. And, Harry's American as well. So we can't read Russian. So we had to use Google Translate. And basically it was a whole thing how they considered something like domestic terrorism, this and that. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. We are a cannabis channel, man. We're not any of that. We don't talk about politics or, ethnicities or religion or things of that nature. Those are heavy topics. That's just not what this space is about. Have nicely told people in the comment section as well that's commented things of that nature. It's just not the space for it. I'm just here to teach you guys about cannabis and all that stuff you can say for other channels you may look up and watch. I know some people are, very politically charged and like to give their opinion. That's fine, but this just ain't the place for it. Understand that. But I don't understand why. I mean, I get that it's a giant Google, corporation like Harry mentioned. However, I don't understand why we do live in America and we were affected by that. Even though Google is a global corporation, I do get that. I get it, but it's just mind-boggling to me that a different country will send a cease and desist letter, basically, of your content and just not watch it anymore. And I still have Ukrainian and Russian people commenting in my comment section, and I will still continue to talk with them. But however, when I did answer a few people that were from Russian and I had to translate what they said, because I can't read Russian, guys, for you guys watching with the captions on in different languages, I'm sorry, I only do American and I know some German. Outside of that, I don't know any other languages, and I do have to translate it, but soon after I did that and checked it out, gave it a like, and, the two buds in a jar heart and commented, boom, we were sent that email. And, YouTube wanted to put a strike against our channel. And it was just wild to me that Russia government got a hold of YouTube, and then YouTube came back on content that was already previously unage restricted that they restricted. I know it gets complicated, but and then they removed that video. So what did me and Harry do? We made a 2.0 version of that video, and it will be released soon, probably after this is or before this is. Either way, I think it was crazy that YouTube gave us the go-ahead after age restricting content, and then because of Russia and the 6-page letter that they sent in an email. And, I mean, dude, teaching about horticulture is no kind of violent or harmful act. I know that's obvious, but I want to point that out first and foremost. That is just ignorant. Google does the same thing. And it's like, I'm not teaching you guys. There's way more harmful or dangerous content. I'm sure if you're a long user of YouTube, you've came across some videos. There's a guy that jumps off stuff and goes through glass and barbed wire and nails and cactuses and microwaves. And, I don't see how that's educational or non-harmful. That's very harmful content. You don't want kids mimicking that shit. And you sure as hell don't want adults as well. So, I could think of far more dangerous content I've seen on YouTube. And me and Harry have this discussion very often. So, we do have a lot to say. So, I do, please excuse the rant, Canna family. But, we got banned from a different country, which is fine. If their policies or the way they run their stuff doesn't, go with American policies, that's fine. But understand, are Americans. We were born in America, we were raised in America, and we just do things like Americans. So I just really don't understand how, communistic political views, I would say, really atone to the content we make. How they're allowed to say we're domestic terrorists and it's harmful and dangerous. It really burns my butt, man. To say the least.
You know,
You know,
when when America still was mostly all illegal for cannabis, it was actually illegal to share the knowledge of how to grow the plant. So I could understand how, in a way, in their government, right? But the only reason it affects YouTube is because YouTube is a global corporation. So it's not just America, it has to abide by all these other countries. So, I mean, I get it, but it is difficult because it's not like we could just like take our channel and decide where it can be viewed. We can't control that. All we can do is put out the videos. And we can tell them that, hey, I always put English for the language. So like, hey, there's a hint. We're American.
yeah, and that's what, I mean, we love the fact that people from different countries watch our stuff. I love it. I love commenting, I don't mind translating it and Google seeing what you guys said. you know and again, don't take this the wrong way, but it was just the yeah, the Russian government. I mean, they monitor what their people watch, and it had affected our channel. And I also feel for them, because I think as long as you're not looking up anything dangerous or harmful, and growing plants are by far not harmful acts that a human could do. I think you should have that freedom to do so, and we do here in America. So, shout out to everybody in different countries that do not have that freedom. If you come across this, I feel for you, and we do too, because that we don't know what that's like. We don't understand that type of mental bondage, that a communistic government may have, or and it's just horrible. It's just horrible. But that's not what this channel's about. We're not going to get too deep into that. That's just, I had to say, because I sympathize with those people. I really do, especially with all the war and stuff going on. But it's just horrible. War is horrible. But anyway, back on topic, guys. We just can't believe we got hit with it. We got one of our videos taken down, and we fought YouTube tooth and nail. We tried to get it back up. It was the 42 fast buds. It had, what, 3.5, 3.6K or 4.6K. It was in the thousands.
42 fast buds makes good genetics.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed growing all of their cultivars so far. They've been really good, and our backup channel is on Rumble. So if you want to check us out over on Rumble, there is a backup channel there if YouTube decides to ever kick us out.
Yeah. We do have a Rumble, a Patreon, a Twitter. And guys, we just had some stuff going on in IRL. I moved, and Harry's had some issues going on in his grow. He had to go get stuff and fix, just like I did here recently as well. I had heat stress on my last grow, the Grape Ape and Northern Lights. But I had a great yield from it. Could have been better, but air conditioners go out, parts happen, things happen when you grow. You can control everything to a T until your electronics go out on you. And that's the same thing YouTubing. Once the batteries are dead, you got to wait till they charge. And that's another reason we didn't do a live stream, guys. Our camera, one camera was forgotten. And then, because there's a lot going on in IRL, and then the other one, the batteries, we had to wait until it charged. And we have like 2 batteries for it roughly. So
We've tried to film this. This is the second time we filmed this now.
yeah, because the first time the file was corrupted. And Harry Cola, being the master tech dude that he is, has tried everything, and he knows quite a bit, and nothing brought it back. And sometimes you have that Canna family. So, ultimately the camera just did not capture the footage and does not have the file for one reason or another. A lot of YouTubers have this problem.
The
It
SD
just happened to
cards.
us.
The SD cards, you reformat the card so many times, and it starts corrupting over time because the data gets compressed. Because like whenever you use file space and you delete something, you never delete it fully. There's always a little bit of information left in. After you do that so many times, the card thinks it has X amount of space, but some of that space has been corrupted now by compression. So when your file tries to save in certain spots, it'll be corrupted.
Makes sense.
That's the simplest way I can explain it, and within the binary system of an SD card.
Yeah, so there you go. You heard it from the tech man himself. You just sometimes you can't bring the footage back, and we apologize. But just know anything that gets took down, we'll re-put up. We do exist on Rumble, Twitter, Patreon, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. So, Google won't silence us, rather. Sorry, I have cotton mouth. And neither will the Russian government, or comms communication. Um, we're in America and we don't really abide by other countries' laws. That's just not how this country goes. So I mean, it's kind of what I got to say. And Russian people, again, I feel for you. Me and Harry, our asses are burnt because this was one of our good videos, and we just started getting up into the thousands of views thanks to you guys. We greatly appreciate it. And for them just to take, maybe 6,000, 4,000, even though that's a smaller number, it's bigger for us. And we're stoked about it. So, we've been doing this 2 years now, two going on three currently. So, we're at a good subscriber rate. Our, audience is awesome. We always have good, positive lives. Sometimes you got, your asshole or asshat, whatever you want to call them in the comments section, but they always get removed. So, it can be a positive, environment for everybody, and nobody's at each other's throats, 'cause sometimes you have those hardcore growers, and we made a video all about that. What Matt's My Dreads called elitist growers. If you want to check that out, that's pretty fire.
I think we gotta wrap this video up.
And yeah, we have very low battery. So again, this is a special What Matt's My Dreads with Harry Cole. I thought I brought him in, give him, let him give his, voice on it too as well. Because this did ultimately happen to the channel. We did get banned, and it was absolutely ridiculous over in Russia. So Russian people, again, we feel for you here at Two Buds in a Jar. Hopefully, things turn around for you guys there. And much love to all the Canna family watching. This is another episode on Two Buds in a Jar, What Matt's My Dreads. I'm your host, Dustin from Two Buds in a Jar. This is co-host Harry Cola, and we are burning out. We'll see you next time, Canna fam. What is smoking, Canna family? It is your host, Dustin, with Two Buds in a Jar. And today I'm going to rack my nuts off of a fence. It's painful. I'll tell you all about it coming up next.